Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Untitled Car Show. It's Eclipse Day. Everyone get ready for the solar eclipse, the Great American Solar Eclipse. I am in the D.C. area, which means it's going to be kind of shitty here for that. As far as I understand, it's going to be like 80%, so it's going to be like maybe a cloudy day at best in terms of like um, how dark it gets outside, and it's going to be um, like miserable outside in terms of temperature. So, and my little one's 2.5, so I don't think I'm going to really get so super excited about this. I feel a little like it's weird because I'm a big science nerd. I love, you know, science and technology, and that's part of the reason I like mechanical stuff like cars. But like, I can't get super enthused over this for some reason. Like, you show me a documentary about like the formation of the solar system, anything astrological or astronomical, not astrological because it's not horoscopes, but anything like that, and I will sit down and I will watch that shit. This though, I can't really get super excited for some reason. So, also I do enjoy. There's like a Dodge Stratus. That's weird to see one of those in that good of condition. I do enjoy. Mitsubishi is going to launch the eclipse-cast today. It's my understanding, so that should be entertaining. And Chiquita Banana is doing a stupid promotion too. So sorry, I just lost the banana. Just lost them as a sponsor. But yeah, it seems so weird to try and not take advantage, but try to brand the solar eclipse to try and brand the lunar phenomenon. I don't know. It is something. There is something somewhat, I guess, Orwellian is kind of the best way to put it. Like, we're going to try and sell advertising on the back. Ooh, see, that would be a thing. Laser graphics onto the moon, like for a product, like a big old Apple logo on the back of the moon would just be hilarious. Like, that would be like the ultimate in like we've reached a point of no return in our society with that. I don't know. It's interesting though. I'm excited. I like that everyone is excited because it's such a great phenomenon, and it would be a good road trip to do. Try and drive and keep up with the eclipse. Probably in a convertible, although the driver's kind of SOL. I did read, and I thought you all might find this interesting. So back when the Concorde was first coming out, when it was still in its prototype days, there was like a 7-minute long eclipse over Africa. So like the point of like prominence or like the point of like maximum time in the United States this year, I think it's something on the order of 2 to 4 minutes, if I read correctly. And I mean, don't get me wrong, for the sun to be completely blotted out, that's a very long time. But I guess it varies depending on orbit, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so it's reading about we're prototyping the Concorde, and the eclipse was going to be 7 minutes over Africa. And if you look at the map, and you look at how fast the moon travels across the sky, it's roughly equivalent to around like high Mach 1. So like Mach 1.7 and Mach 2, basically. It's kind of like its perceived ground speed. So researchers got in touch with the company. So like the French company, kind of like Peugeot, were partially owned by the state. So they got in touch with them and said, hey, we would love to take this opportunity to do research on the eclipse. So The Concorde designers said, yeah, they thought it would be a great way to show off the unique capabilities of the Concorde. So they had to install special windows on the top of the Concorde. It was on the prototype, so it had to be like quartz reinforced glass because it was, Mach 2. You're going super fast. It's super high heat. At super low pressures. It's such a weird set of requirements. So they had to put special quartz windows in. You think about it. You're prototyping a vehicle, and then someone asks you, can you use it for something that it was never designed to do, but it would be good at doing because of it? And that's kind of what I like about the human spirit when it comes to like engineering and invention and all that. So they put these little porthole windows on the top of the Concorde, and then they invited in all these researchers to view to put their equipment in. And from what I understand, because the Concorde Mach 2, different types of pressure, and obviously it's a pressurized cabin, I guess it has to be pressurized, or the pressure differential is greater, so it's a bigger fire risk. So all the equipment had to be really, really sure that nothing was going to spark, short circuit, or do anything like that, because it could just basically knock the plane out of the sky. And again, prototype Concorde, one crash did the Concorde end. Could you imagine if that crash was in the very beginning of that program? So they brought these researchers in, and the plane was able to basically meet up with the eclipse over Sahara, Africa, and fly for something in the order of 70 minutes. And the limitation it had was not so much its fuel, but it was the runways in Africa that were able to support a Concorde landing. So Concorde obviously not a big plane, but it comes in fast because it's got those short, stubby wings, so it can do supersonic flight. So it needs a super long runway because it comes in at a very high speed for an airline. So, and that record still stands for ground-based observation of a solar eclipse. Not ground-based, but I guess sub-atmospheric, subspace. I don't know. Subspace makes it sound cool, but gives kind of like subspace eclipse viewing. Anyway, so I thought that was cool. I was reading about that, watched a YouTube on it, and I think it was, who did the video? It was like Shy Droid, something like that. If you just Google that, it'll come up. I know not terribly car related, but I figured I might enjoy that in terms of, it's engineering, it's science, it's fun, it's cool. So again, it's the Monday show, just kind of a little vloggy show. So was working on the vehicle this weekend, and like I said, I've had the motor mounts in. It, prepped into place, probably going to be not the permanent mounts, but just good enough to get us where we need to go. Anyway, sorry, the Waze is talking to me. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm getting blocked in by people who have no idea what they're doing. Nevada, this is called traffic. Driver from Nevada, not really understanding what's going on the road. Anyway, so I was working on the car. The motor's in, obviously. We're working on it. But I've been having an issue that I really didn't understand. So I thought with the super humid air we had here, that I was dealing with the car rusting up, because I could get it to spin freely when I first bought it, and it was fine. And then it would kind of get tight on me, but I was able to turn it. I've been spraying a little WD-40 into it. So, just spray with WD-40, kind of like played with it in massage, and never really had an issue since then. And then, before the last month, I was really fighting it wasn't turning. I could put a ton of torque into it, and nothing was happening. So I was playing. I put in all sorts of anti-rust stuff. I tried like the super like special mix. If you go online, it's like you use lemon juice and vinegar and you pour it in, and it's like the best rust inhibitor. And tried all these different things. And I was like, God, this thing still is rusted shut. I'm gonna have to rip this whole engine apart. I'm gonna have to take a look inside of it. Blah blah blah. So I was driving with my daughter the other day. We're just going out and about, our little weekend ritual, you know. My wife's at work on the weekends, critical care nurse, all that. So I was driving out and about, and I do what I always do because she's talking. She's 2.5, but she's not really asking questions. So we're trying to encourage that. So I'll just sit in there and I'll just let my mind wander and go like, why is the sky blue? And the sky is blue because, you know, the oxygen and nitrogen in the atmosphere absorb more of one wavelength than the other, and the wavelength that comes out is more of a bluish hue. I'll just kind of let my mind wander to trees and stuff, and occasionally wanders to car, and I go like, why is Daddy's engine not turning? Daddy thinks it's rust, and blah, 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 blah. And it hit me. Hold on. Excuse me. It hit me. I'm like, wait a minute. Since it's been fouling up, has been since I put the starter on it. So after we went out and we had our little daddy-daughter day, and she goes down for her nap, I go out to the garage and I pull off the starter, put just a little like wrench on it, and it spins wonderfully. I'm like, okay, so that's not the issue. The issue is the starter. So I have two starters. I've been sneezing a lot, and I don't know quite why. So I have two starters. One's from the Nissan motor. One's from the Volvo motor. So the Nissan motor doesn't quite fit right. So we're just kind of messing around with the different housings and all that stuff. So what's happening is, because of where the plate is on the where the flywheel is on the Audi, the teeth of the Volvo are locking into place, not letting it spin. So that's the issue. And then I tried the Nissan one, same issue. So I was trying to avoid having to buy a actual Audi starter, but I think just for sake of like peace of mind and all that, I'm going to end up having to. So it's expensive. It kind of is not one thing I want to spend money on, but I'm going to end up having to spend money on. So that's kind of where that's at. But we're getting fuel lines hooked up and wiring hooked up, and we're going along pretty well. So we're going to call this one just a little early. Sorry for kind of like the briefness of this episode. But just a quick little plug it in, put it on your commute. We'll be back to longer and longer episodes as we kind of go on. I know a lot of other podcasts are kind of taking summer breaks. And I really don't want to do that, but it's just been such a little hectic time in the personal life that it's kind of been a necessity. So we'll be back, or maybe I'll put out a couple more little quick episodes this week. Not quite sure. So I want to thank everyone for listening. I want to thank all the new listeners for coming and joining me. And, you know, make sure to follow us on all the social media at Untitled Car Show. And have a good night. Have a good evening. Wherever you are, whatever time it is there. Thank you so much for listening. And please, be safe out there.